Last time on Nancy Berry's Big Case.
When I read the headline that morning, I knew it was a case I had to pursue. But for some reason, I was struck by a strange sense of foreboding.
I have done these catalog layouts until I'm blue in the face.
The photo shoot was where I first met Dave Dickinson.
No, sorry.
So you're not taking it?
No. Now, when you say this won't take long, what exactly do you mean?
Just put it on and follow my lead. My name is Nancy, and this was my big case.
Can I help you?
Yes. Could you tell us where the coroner's inquest is for the Bates murder case?
Of course. It's in the coroner's meeting room. But they're in a closed session. The room is locked.
That's all right. We're with the press. We were sent to cover the inquest.
You're with the press?
Yeah, see? So could we get those keys from you? Shoot, I really have to get into that inquest.
What was all that you said before about needing to see your father?
My father works here. He's a lawyer. But that's not why we're here. I really have to get into that inquest. There's foul play involved, and I have to get to the bottom of it.
Why you?
This will probably be my only chance to get the straight scoop on the poisoning. If I don't get all the information in the beginning, I may miss the most important clues.
Clues?
I made a promise.
A promise? To who?
You just don't understand. I have to get into that inquest.
I'll get you in.
That the testimony that you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Dr. Bernard Casey.
Dr. Casey, according to this autopsy statement, you examined the body of Robert Bates?
I did.
And what, if anything, did you determine from this autopsy?
That Mr. Bates did not die from heart failure as was initially certified. He died from a poison known as sodium Fahrenheit.
And what is sodium Fahrenheit, doctor?
It's a chemical used in photography.
Is such a chemical easy to obtain?
Not at all. It's a very old agent, not readily available to the general public. In fact, only someone well-versed in black and white photo development would even have any need for such a substance.
And you found evidence that this agent, in fact, killed the deceased?
While the poison was not readily apparent on the initial autopsy, after a more detailed and careful examination, I was able to find a small but lethal trace of the offending substance.
And what led you to conduct the additional investigation that led you to this finding?
New evidence found by the decedent's sister, Sandra Carlson.
State your name, please.
Sandra Carlson.
What led you to believe that your brother did not die of heart failure as was earlier certified?
Well, after my brother's funeral, my husband and I went to Robert's home to tend to some of his personal effects. It was there that I came across an article in a photography magazine that I found in the living room.
And is this the magazine in question?
Yes, that's it. It described the dangerous effects of a rare chemical substance called sodium Fahrenheit. I read that it's not available on the open market due to its highly toxic condition. And then I noticed a penciled passage that indicated if ingested in small doses, it could lead to heart failure and leave behind a small, nearly undetectable trace of the poison.
And what was it about this underlined passage that struck you as being odd?
Well, it occurred to me that the magazine couldn't belong to Robert. He wasn't a photographer.
Was anyone in his family a photographer?
Yes, his wife, Betty Bates.
State your name for the record, please.
Betty Bates?
Mrs. Bates, is this your magazine?
Well, yes.
And is it true that you are indeed a photographer?
That's correct.
And did you underline this passage regarding sodium Fahrenheit?
I guess I must have.
Mrs. Bates, your husband left quite a sizable estate, did he not?
Yes.
And who was the sole beneficiary of that estate?
Well, I am.
Mrs. Bates, you're the only person close to Robert Bates who had access to sodium Fahrenheit and also stood to benefit from your husband's death. Therefore, it is my conjecture that you are the only person who had both the means and the motive to commit murder.
But I didn't kill him. I loved my husband.